Oh man, how are you feeling?
Bro, this is wild. We're doing this again.
Yeah,
like live music.
Yes, it's crazy.
But I love it, man. We're back at it again. Welcome back to another episode of the Broke Boys. I'm Martin.
I'm DJ.
And today we got another special guest. He's going to be coming in right now, but we just want to say a quick shout out to All Things Fresno. Shout out to her because she let this happen. We're right here at beautiful
spot. Beautiful venue.
spot.
I mean, realistically, I never imagined us to be in a bar setting.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie to you.
We're out here in Tower District, bro.
Lucy's Lounge got it going on, bro. This is amazing. As a matter of fact, it looked like our special guest has arrived.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hop on in, brother. When you speak up into the mic.
Yeah. Check. All right. We out here.
We out here.
Just make sure you speak to the mic because it's loud already.
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm a performer, baby. I know. I deal with people who put the mics down like this.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm like, yo.
It just makes it harder to end.
They'll be talking to me like, yeah, my name. I'm like, yo, do this. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it works better if you talk into the mic.
Right.
Kills me, yo.
Absolutely. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
My name is Brandon Freeman, aka DJ Freezy. I do everything music. I play guitar, drums, bass, keys. Mainly a singer. I'm also a DJ. I do a little bit of everything, right? Production, all of that.
That's amazing, man. You're one of the people that inspires me most. Being a producer and being able to master that many instruments is crazy.
It's man, when you've been playing instruments for as long as me, and I've got just like so much different musical background. Like I listen to everything, man, like jazz, metal, hip hop, you know what I mean? It's folk, indie, like whatever. So there's just been so many different things that I've always wanted to do. I've never put my eggs in one basket.
Right.
So it's always like, there's always been something around to toy with, you know what I mean? So it's so I'm just always making something, always doing something.
What a blessing. Yeah. It's crazy how creative minds come together, right? Because it's like, dude, like that's multi-talented.
Right.
You do a whole lot of different things. Like that's crazy. Well, I can't even imagine.
And so before we dive into his story, let's go ahead and roll this intro.
Mm-hmm.
We them broke boys from the hood. We on them missions understood. Won't catch us lacking, we that good. We always winning like we should. We flying high, we butterfly up to the sky. No way you catching us goodbye. Pray to God we make it out alive.
All right, welcome back. So a huge shout out to All Things Fresno before we go ahead and continue with this one. Please, we would like to know a little bit more about you. Let's dive into your story, bro. Were you born and raised here in Fresno, California?
Raised in Fresno, yes. I was actually born in San Bernardino. Me and my mom lived in Pasadena for, a few years, but I've lived here since I was like 4 or 5 years old. So I'm a Fresno dude. Like I'll say I'm from Pasadena if I need like plausible deniability. No, but I'm a Fresno brother. Elementary school, junior high, high school here, college at Fresno State. I'm a Fresno brother.
What high school you go to?
I went to Edison actually, but I was on a transfer. And I got in a fight. So they was like, 0 tolerance, you got to go. I was okay. I mean, it was one of those things where like, honestly, it was worth it to me.
Right.
Like, he dude said some really dumb stuff.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was
sometimes they deserve it.
I can't let it slide, man. I can't. I made it to the end of that school day too, because they called every other Brandon because he didn't know my last name. So they called every other Brandon to the office. And then finally, it was the last period, like 10 more minutes left in school. And they called me to the office.
Should have lied. Should have been like, I'm sorry. Who?
Brandon, my name's Alex.
My name is Fabio. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. They knew it was me as soon as I walked in there because he was sitting in the corner all knotted up. I was like, dang, man, I did that to you? My bad. Not really, but what else?
Right. That's crazy. So growing up, were you the troublemaker?
No, absolutely not. Like, I think like school fights, I've been in like 2 my whole life. That was the second one. Right. The first one was in like 8th grade, but I'm not a fighter. I'm not a violent dude today. It was just like, some stuff you just can't say, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
But you had to have a pause on him, bro, because you had him all knotted up in a cloud. Was he just asking for it?
It's weird because like I don't really fight like that.
Right.
But I can't say I've actually ever like just like lost a fight outright. Like
That's respectable.
I just got a problem, man. Like it's like if you, it's crazy, man. Like so part of my brain turns off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's weird because I'm like, bro, I'm 5'6". You know what I mean? I don't have much incentive to fight fair, my dude.
Right.
You know, I really don't.
Hey, it's all
It's understandable, bro.
Yeah, no, but I've never been into that. Like, and I was in the GATE program too at Edison
Oh
too.
man, so you were
Yeah,
type
I
guy.
was. I've always been. I mean, I guess I've always. Everybody tells me I'm smart.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop arguing with y'all. I guess then. You know, like, never enough people say it, but yeah. So, but I mean, it's always been music. It's always been music for me. It's interesting because my parents told me that I shouldn't get a music degree because it's not practical. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so now here I am, a career musician without a music degree. I'm like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
You
not
gotta prove 'em
practical.
wrong.
It's not practical, but it's what I do for a living now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I make a little bit of money. Like, I live in a house. You know what I mean? I got 2 cars. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, you're living your dream basically.
Yeah. And you don't have to go to school to be successful. That's the stigma. That's the stigma.
you don't. But with music and academia, where they coincide really is the networking.
Right.
Like a music degree actually won't get you much.
Right.
Like you could go back and teach or whatever, you know what I
Right.
mean? But that's it. It's really about the networking and the people that you meet through those systems.
Right.
You know, so that was, it's always felt like I had a little bit, I don't know, how do you say leg down? You know,
Okay.
not a leg up, but a leg down, you know?
Right.
Yeah, 'cause like I have a lot of homies who, you know, came up through the, you know, educational music, you know, kind of like,
Right.
you know, like the pipeline, I guess, if you
Right.
will, you know,
Right.
and they're all, but you know what though? Funnily enough, not many of them are doing much better than me. So I guess it's not really that big of a deal, but it's definitely something I would like to have because knowing all of the music theory and stuff like that,
Yes.
you know, I had to teach myself all of that stuff. I'm getting better at it, but
Right.
yeah, you know, like that's what I can say to anybody. Like, go to school for whatever it is you're trying to do, because it's not about the piece of paper. It's about the networking. It's about the people you can meet. They're like networking is key. I think that's the main thing that I've learned over the years.
Right.
Is that networking? Like, talk to people, tell people what you do, ask them
Right.
what they do, collaborate, link up. You know what I mean? It's a really big thing, and that's what I'm trying to do with, you know, the Monday event.
Right.
It's really a big deal for me because so back in the day, I know y'all know strummers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, strummers used to be called Starline back in the day.
Mm.
And when it was still Starline, there's a dude named Tommy Delgado, and he ran a Wednesday night like open jam. So it was an open mic, but for bands.
Right.
And yo, that Wednesday night was more cracking than any show that they ever threw.
Right.
It was hopping in there because people just wanted to be a part of the scene. It was about the local scene and the local musicians.
Right.
And I'm really trying to get back to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Word. So when did you learn your first instrument? That's what I'm curious about because you said you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I've been singing since I was 7. But my first instrument was junior high. I had a homie named Taylor, and he played guitar, and I wanted to be in a band with Taylor. So I picked up bass. So bass was my first instrument.
Would you say out of all the instruments that you've learned to play, is the bass the easiest one?
Oh, no, definitely drums. People say drums is complicated, and I don't know why. Like, it just makes sense to me.
Right.
Like, I play drums and sing. People are like, how do you do that? I'm like, I practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't understand how people don't get that. Like, just practice, man. Like,
Just take the time and
practice.
sit there and
We talk
do
about
it.
practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah.
We talk about practice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when did you produce your first song?
Ooh, I would say like the first song that I actually produced front to back would have been, it was actually later in life. I want to say it was maybe like 13 years ago. My boy Otis Reed, you know, and this was when a whole lot of messed up stuff was happening, you know, in the media and whatnot. You know, a lot of black men were dying,
Right.
you know what I mean, and things like that. And he had a song about, you know, if I got shot by a cop today, I wonder what they'd all say.
Right.
So I put together the whole beat and, you know, helped him record it and everything like that. I think that was my first song that I've produced all the way through.
Wow. Wow.
And shout out to Otis Reed, by the way. Otis Reed is my favorite rapper. Not because he's my friend, not because I know him, no, because he is literally my favorite rapper in the whole world, Otis Reed.
How does it feel being able to meet your, I wouldn't say your biggest inspiration, but yeah, how does it feel to meet one of your biggest role models?
I mean, he became that like while we were hanging out, you know what I mean? Because like when you're making music with people, you know, you hear the music that they make.
Right.
You know, like even when you're not a part of it, you know, and I was just always listening to everything. And we've done a lot of work together too.
Right.
So he sort of became your mentor after a while.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would
word.
definitely say so, especially like with the hip hop, you know, things like that. You know, he always had the lyrics down, and like the thematic content was always so on point.
Right.
A lot of people, you know what I mean, they'll just write verses, you know, and they'll just write whatever the hell they're talking about or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
But he had, everything always had a point, you know what I mean? It was thematically congruent, you know, the hook, and it was an actual song,
Right.
you know what I mean? And it came together like that. So that was a big reason why I always admired him. And so it was always nice to work with him. And now he's doing a lot of videography and stuff. Like if I'm making a music video, I call Otis Reed.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So besides him, did you have anybody growing up that really inspired you?
Growing up, that really inspired me. I would say I think my favorite instrumentalist is Chi Ching. Actually, he was the bass player from Deftones back in the day. Yeah, I remember that was the first celebrity death that made me cry. That was the first one, because that's how I learned how to play bass. Like I said, bass was my first instrument.
Right.
So I was learning Deftones songs, like, especially when White Pony came out, and that was when I first started playing bass. And then the self-titled album came out when I was in high school.
Right.
And I remember we were on a band trip because I was in jazz band playing bass.
Right.
And we were on the way out there. No. We were on the way back. And my boy Bert, who he works at Tioga Sequoia now, but he had, he was back. He was in band with me back in the day. And he was like, "Have you heard this new Deftones?" I said, "New Deftones?"
Yeah.
Say what? You know what I mean? So I listened to that all the way, and it was just like, yeah. And then I was up in this place called The Bug. It's near Yosemite.
Okay.
So it's like it's a hostel. It's like, and it was really popular among like foreigners who would come, like they just traveling through California.
Right.
So they go to Yosemite. It's the cheapest place that you could stay, and they all do hostels because they're Europeans.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they had no problem. Like they was good with it. So it was, the homies would play music up there, and I was up there one night, and then we just all heard the news, and I was just like, "Yo, killed your boys whole night." Safe to say that was a tough one. But yeah, I would say Chi Cheng, Chino Moreno for that matter. I think everybody in Deftones really.
Right.
Deftones is definitely my favorite band, if not Radiohead. And it's funny because people call Deftones the Radiohead of metal.
Right. Okay. So what was the first song that you learned to play by Deftones?
I think it was My Own Summer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the joint, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it was so weird too, because like all of the notes, a lot of what they did was they would play notes that like were a little bit off, just to make things like more tense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that became, I think that became a device that a lot of people used more later. I mean, people were doing it then, like Meshuggah was already out, who was another one of my favorite bands.
Right.
Thomas Haka from Meshuggah is actually, he's probably my favorite drummer. He's probably my favorite drummer. If not him, it's Nate Smith, which is like worlds apart. Like those two drummers have nothing to do with each other at all. Like, but yeah. So I mean, it's all kind of different influences that I had. But yeah, I would say the first song that I learned from Deftones on bass was My Own Summer. I think really the one that got me like just sitting down and listening to stuff though was this album called Saturday Night Wrist. And that was the last one that he made. It's actually not the last one that he made with them. The last one that he made with them was called Eros, and they never put it out. They got a whole album. That they just sitting on and they'll never release. Like, I'm hurt. Like, I hope when I get like my big check, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey man, how much is it gonna cost me to hear Eros, man? You know what I mean? Like if I drop that one song and make a brother $1 million,
right?
I'm gonna hit Chino, bro. I got the cash, man. Just let me hear the album, dog. Just drop it on me, man, please, bro. Like, yeah. But yeah, Deftones, Radiohead, like I said. What was a big deal for me for a while was the Lupe Fiasco.
That's the name I haven't heard in forever.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
That man had the early 2000s on a headlock.
Yeah.
He really did. If you are what you say you are. That was my joint, man.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's crazy. So being multi-talented, being raised out here in Fresno, do you feel like it was hard finding other people that were like-minded like you?
It still is. It really still is because I'm into a lot of different kinds of music that I think even Americans really don't listen to.
Okay.
I don't know why or what it is, but like I've never really been into like, I mean, I was on some hipster nonsense at first. So like,
Right.
oh, I don't listen to popular music. You know what I mean? Like now, like you might catch me listening to Taylor Swift on a bad day. You know what I mean? Like you never know. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely, I've always had music tastes that were a little bit outside the realm of the normal, typical stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then it all came back, like I grew up listening to music with my mama, like everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? You sitting in the back of the car, your mom, like my mom's driving down the street, she's singing along with everything.
Right.
That's what inspired me to sing, actually, because my mom always sounded exactly like the people on the radio that she was listening to. And I was like, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. And so that's when I started singing. Like I said, I was 7 years old.
Man.
I just wanted to be like my mom, man, truth be told.
Dang. Yeah. With that being said, what were some of the like challenges that you had to face throughout the years? That you've
living in an apartment, having to learn how to sing. So your boy's falsetto is on point. Because you gotta sing like this if people are listening on the other side of the wall, baby. You know what I mean? So you gotta just chill it out. You gotta chill it out. So yeah, like lots of Maxwell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of that.
Maxwell was really doing his thing back then.
Yo, Maxwell I think is another one of my biggest influences too.
Yes.
Yeah. Maxwell is one of those Music Soul Child. Like a lot of neo soul stuff like that. Like that was a really, really big time in my life.
Right.
Like I remember when Bottleism came out, and I was like, yay tall, bro. You know what I mean? And it was like, I'm feeling high. You know what I mean? Like so that was definitely a big album for me. Like Erykah Badu. But then you have her like her contemporaries like Mos Def and Common and what I mean, the Roots, all of that. So know, but then that brings up your Jill Scotts and your like bro, like I could go on and on. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different influences, man. You never know what I'm bumping. Bumping. I could be bumping house, death metal, smooth jazz, like experimental R&B, like whatever, man.
On the other side of that, right? So we're talking about inspirations. Is there anybody out there that's barely starting out that you see has a lot of talent?
People who are barely starting out that have a lot of talent.
Anybody that you can think of that needs to be in the spotlight or deserves a little bit more grace in the platform?
To be honest, I can't really think of anybody like that right now.
Okay.
Like you mean like in Fresno or just
It don't gotta be in
general?
Fresno, just in general.
Not off the top of my head, actually. Like
Okay.
I think I'm not as tapped into the local scene as I actually should be. But it's been really hard to be as tapped in lately because I'm getting older. You know what I mean? So I don't hang out with a lot of the younger cats.
Right.
They're like if I could. You know who I could name? A couple of people. Mia May. Mia May is dope. B Hippie is really cool. There's some dope artists around Fresno. There's a lot of good MCs. Like man, yeah, it's hard to think of many people right now.
Right.
But I've been a little bit removed, which is what I'm trying to fix.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I want there to be more of a bridge between people.
Right.
Like, especially in the music scene, I want more people to feel like they have access to, their peers and their peer group within the music scene.
Right.
Man, me, like I said, I got away with it because I'm a little bit older. Like I'm older than I look, man, by a lot.
I was gonna ask you how old you were, but you look like you're 24.
I look like I'm 24.
You look like you're
Thank you for the compliment, my G. I appreciate you. I'm 38 years old, man.
No way.
Bro,
No
what
fucking
the
way.
fuck?
No.
I swear to God.
I don't believe that.
crazy.
Hold on.
Pull up the ID.
Hold on.
Pull up the fucking ID.
There's no way. I
He's
gotta see the
fucking with
picture,
us.
bro.
I got you. Oh, y'all gonna hate this picture. I hate it.
Yo, what?
There's no way.
No bullshit, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
They was not lying when they said black don't crack.
Nah, hey, look, it really don't, man. It really don't. People still ask if my mom is my sister. Like, so
Yeah,
that's where
that's a big one,
that's
bro.
obviously where I
Yeah.
get it from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy, brother. So outside of that topic, obviously inspirations, people you see growing up. What's something you haven't dabbled into yet that you really want to experiment in?
Producing house music. I really want to be a house producer. Like if I could be like Chris Lake,
Okay.
you know what I mean, or like DJ Snake.
DJ Snake would be crazy.
Yo, DJ Snake, bro. Hey, man, like that Teka song that he did. I don't battle Teka. Bro, I'll just be walking around like Teka. Like, well, you want to Teka? You know, it's like, nah, man, just don't worry about it. It's
Right.
It's all up here. It's all up here.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Which is crazy as hell because in this situation, it's like DJ Snake growing up since like when I was young, when I was in middle school, DJ Snake was dropping fire after fire after fire.
Yeah.
And in the EDM
Rapid fire.
scene,
Yeah. Repeatedly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's just like, I feel like DJ Snake didn't even get the love that he deserved.
Nah,
I feel
definitely
like he did
not.
But house music is definitely a part of I love house music. I grew up listening to EDM, a little bit of techno house back then.
Yeah.
And then growing up, I started to get a love for more like trap house. And I think the terminology for it is it's like it starts with a T. I can't think of the word right now. It's like trip hop. Trip hop, yeah.
Trip hop was my first like electronic music love. Like I could go back to like Sneaker Pimps and Trip Rocket and Tricky and Portishead and Massive Attack and Thievery Corporation and like just all of those bands, man. That was a really, really big deal for me.
Yeah.
When Becoming X came out, like, yo, Kelly Ali was like just killing it, man. Like when she wasn't a part of Sneaker Pimps.
Right.
Like they came out with a couple albums before, or was it after? I don't know. But Kelly Ali only actually did one album with them.
Right.
And then she just kind of fell off. But yeah, Sneaker Pimps were a big deal for me. Thievery Corporation had this album called The Cosmic Game. Just blew my mind the first time I heard it, man.
Well, if you ever dabble into making house music, I'm gonna be watching because I'm a huge house enjoyer.
Hell yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of UK garage, which I feel like is garage is different. That's when you know the lore is deep, brother. If you know about UK garage or just garage in general, you know you're too deep in.
Garage.
It's
Garage.
But house music is definitely one from the soul for sure. So I can't wait to see if you dabble into it, brother. I'll be right here with you listening for it.
Definitely. I've been spinning a lot of house because I'm DJing.
Yeah.
So I've been mixing a lot of house lately. But like I want to make my own though. I think I'm like getting like the format down, like the vibe of it a little bit. But it's definitely something. It's definitely something I have yet to like really fully get a grasp on. So that's I think the next frontier for me.
Right. So what's like the hardest thing that you have to deal with as a DJ, a producer, or
requests?
Okay.
Well, because I play in a band called Cloudship as well, so we'll do covers. Like, hey, do you know any Santana? Like, nah, bro, I don't. I really don't. I'm sorry. They're like, oh, how do you not know? I'm like, bro, am I supposed to know every song? Like, and I think what a lot of people don't understand is when you're DJing, you're not on Spotify, man. Like you gotta have the songs on your computer. Like, DJs buy music. I don't think people understand that. We're not streaming off the internet.
Right.
And it's really messed up like when you try to do those like conversion things like YouTube, because the audio quality is just
not it.
So you gotta buy songs, you know what I mean? Like you could spend several $100s a month on music if you're a DJ. Like it really be like that.
Yeah.
It really be like that. So I think that's a really big thing for me is this requests. Like I want to put just a big ass sign on the front of my thing that's like no requests. Like leave me alone.
Right.
But you got to cater to the people. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And make no mistake, I've downloaded songs like right then and there.
Right.
Sometimes it's a song I feel like I should have.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? You're damn right. I should play. You know what? Hey, I got you. Give me like 30 minutes. I'm gonna figure this out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes it's not that bad. But yeah, definitely like as a DJ requests. As a producer, though, it's just like knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
Like when you're building a beat, you know, you put your drum, you put your bass line, and then you put some, you know, your keys or whatever, and then you're like, okay, this needs something. But then you keep adding stuff, and it's like, I'm not sure if this is done or like what, you know. So that's, I think, a big thing, trying to figure that out. And like when to just chill. Like, no, this is good. Like sequence it, arrange it, you know what I mean? But don't keep adding stuff, you know. There has to be space, and the instruments have to be able to breathe and stuff like that. So I think that's a big thing with producing. With singing, you have to make sure your voice fits with the music.
Yeah.
Especially when you're writing, you know what I mean? Like you can't, like a person with a low pitched voice, you know what I mean? You have to, especially people with low pitched voices, because you can't be like clashing with the keys or the bass, you know? So there's always those things to where, you know, you make sure everything is cohesive. I think that's a problem that anybody has in any situation. Like if you're trying to read a room and you got a bunch of people, you know, you're trying to keep a vibe, make everything. Yeah, I think cohesiveness is a really big thing that a lot of people have a trouble figuring out.
Just being aware of the energy in the room or the energy of the song and how to match it. I think a lot of that is just recognizing vibes. I don't think everybody has that talent or that tool to be able to like, oh, maybe I should bring a higher pitch into the sound, or maybe I should kind of like make it a little bit more monotone because the beat is monotone. Some people can't recognize it. So unfortunately, you know, you'll watch producers, you'll watch rappers kind of come up and like, I don't know why it's not blowing up, A lot of the times it could be that.
Really, I think a big thing is like diving into your local scene and making sure people know who you are and what you do. Right. Because like there's an artist called Hotel Ugly.
I know Hotel Ugly, brother. Oh my God.
Hotel Ugly's music is so insanely simple, bro.
Yes, it is.
And just banger after banger of like basically him not doing much of anything. And it's like, how? Because it's just banging. But it's so good.
So fire, bro.
Yeah, just crack, bro. So that Ugly Duck album, man, is just crazy work.
Yeah, like I honestly didn't know that a lot of these things, like for DJs and producers, it's not just simple as like, oh, I'm just going to play a track, whatever it is.
Right.
No, there's a lot of science behind it.
Yes.
There's a lot of craft that you have to come into it.
It's a lot.
And I didn't know that. We interviewed different artists, DJs, EMs, what's it called? MCs, like for Dog Days. And when they were just telling us and explaining all this stuff, it was just like, wow, like that's a whole different world that I have no idea about. But just to learn about it, it's just like, oh, okay, there's way more things. Like learning the vibes, learning how to read the room, making sure that everyone's having a good time, you know? Like, it's just like there's a science behind this whole thing.
Right. And then after you learn that and you go into a venue or like a show and you start remembering some of those things and being like, yo, like, bro is not lying. Sometimes these DJs don't know how to mix. Sometimes you're listening to it and you're like, okay, this is all preset. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it kills me, these DJs. I'm like, are you really not beat matching right now?
Yeah, that too, bro.
Dude, you have one job.
AI is taking their job right now.
Bro, what was the other thing? Auto syncing?
The auto syncing? Yeah.
Yo, yeah, just auto sync and pre put together playlists are killing me right now.
Yes, bro.
And you know, like, there's no way you can really like compensate for that human element.
Yeah.
Especially with like creative transitions and creative ways to like put songs together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially like me, I had this mix that I put together. I was doing No One Knows by what are they called? This Josh Homme's band, Queens of the Stone Age. So it's Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah. And I would go and I went from Queens of the Stone Age to The Weeknd. What's that song? No, I can't flip it. You know,
oh, okay, yeah.
But like you go from one of those and people are like,
how do you
wait, did you what?
Yeah.
Like what how is this a thing?
Completely unexpected.
Yeah. So I think that's been one of my main kind of things, is trying to just keep it fresh. Like do things that are unpredictable and that nobody would actually, you know, assume somebody would do.
And that's hot right now. Especially on TikTok. I've been seeing DJs do that on TikTok and I'm like, bro, this shit's fire. And then you watch the live reaction too when the DJ does it and everybody's like, bro, this man's a genius. I'm gonna be honest, if you keep doing that, bro,
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to make it work for sure.
Please, man. So with that being said, do you have any upcoming projects that you want to announce?
Ooh. So Cloudship is recording a new single with the homegirl Hope Garcia. She's a part of the band. We have a group of backup singers called the Believers. Hope is one of them.
Okay.
I've been writing more like solos for her.
Right.
Actually, this last one, she wrote the lyrics for it. Like me and my boy John Napolis.
Right.
We wrote this instrumental.
Right.
And they hang out a bit. I mean, we all hang out. But, one day he just sent me, he was like, so Hope wrote this. I'm like, okay. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, what? Yeah. Oh, okay, you know what? No, we keeping it. We keep it. It's done. I ain't writing shit, apparently. Like, like I'm done. You know what I mean? So that was really nice. So that Cloudship single should be out, winter time.
Okay.
I'm actually working on a lot of solo, like hip hop oriented, R&B oriented stuff. I haven't put out a solo project in like over a decade.
Damn.
But this is it's a lot more refined, and I've been working on it really hard. Just making sure all of the mixing and mastering and then everything is done.
Right.
So I have one song that I did with TA The Handful. We're working on getting that released, but it's been a thing to where you got to make sure your music is promoted correctly. And I've done a lot of research, and that research is a bad word, because research is you going out there and you learning this stuff yourself. Me, I've been just listening to other people, what they know.
Right.
But there's a dude named Jesse Cannon, and basically what I learned from him is nobody can stop you anymore. There are no gatekeepers. The algorithm doesn't care who you are. The algorithm cares about traffic.
Right.
So if you're able to drive traffic with your songs, then it'll get pushed. Period. Like you don't have to wait for L.A. Reid to give you the green light.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about the A&R from Universal or Sony or Def Jam or whatever. Like you don't have to give a damn.
Right.
Is it a little bit easier if you have those people's ends? Yes. You know what I mean? Because they can afford to take like a playlist curator out to dinner. And something be like, hey, by the way, we got a couple of songs for you. How's the filet mignon? Is it good? Is it good? Okay, play our songs. Like, but so I can't do that. But it's all about making dope music, which not for nothing, I know I do. So
yeah.
So here we are.
Well, I'm excited to hear those upcoming projects, man. Like I said, once you start dabbling in the house music,
I will let you know, my brother.
You got my ear for it, because I'm ready, bro. I need some new house. There's a lot of, and I say this because growing up, I didn't have a lot of homies that listened to EDM or just dubstep or house. So hearing somebody actually creating, it's like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be right there at the front stage. Even if I'm the only person in the building, let me hear it, bro.
And like EDM goes like way back for me. Like I remember like Darude came out with Sandstorm.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Or like I was DJ.
Storm.
Bro, I was DJ. Like, do you think you're better?
Oh my God.
I was like, yo, that's still my joint. That's still my joint.
Staples.
Like, staples. Yeah, staples. Yeah. So I mean, those songs don't die.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like it's, EDM was a big thing back in the day for me. Like I was listening to like Infected Mushroom and like Airbase and like Tunnel Trance and like weird, crazy shit, man.
Tunnel Trance is different.
Yo, different. Big different.
But other than that, man, I mean, bringing you in here, being able to interview you, it's been amazing.
It's been an honor, man.
Bro.
Thank you guys. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, shout out All Things Fresno. Shout out Lucy's Lounge. The vibe here has been amazing. It was, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been so hard not to sing along to the songs they were performing. I heard Chris, bro. I heard Neo, bro. Yeah, I was trying so hard not to stop and just sing to that shit. But regardless, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast.
Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely, man. And where can we find you on your socials?
So you can find me at Brandon Freeman Music on Instagram, or at Cloudship Music from my band Cloudship. Our website is cloudshipmusic.com. All of our shows are up there and whatnot. I'm in the midst of like revamping all of my social media because I have so many different projects. Like social media has really been a big thing because I had to clean up my grid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you just posted, I made this cool sandwich for lunch. Like, nah, man, like do that, put that somewhere, like put it on a story or something where it disappears. And because what I found is when you clean up everything so people know what you do, you have a good representation of yourself.
Right.
It's already made me money.
Yes.
It's already made me money. Like I sent somebody to my Instagram after I did a free gig over there at the Broadway Park. And then they hired me for a conference. And then their cohorts looked at my Instagram and they're like, wait, he does this too? Like, can he do both of these things? So they paid me separately for 2 different acts at the same event because it's just right there. For you ain't gotta scroll through a bunch of nonsense. No, like right there at the top of my shit is everything that I do. So yeah, at Brandon Freeman Music, Cloudship Music, cloudshipmusic.com. And yeah, man, like all of my people are easy to find. Like T.A. The Handful, Otis Reed. Yeah, man. Shout out to LMC, man. Mike Urimovich, my big brother, my dog. He always looked out for me, taught me so much. And he's like, the LMC Presents is like the king of EDM right now in the in Fresno. They put all the big shows. I think they had Valentino Khan and like Green Velvet.
Right.
Like I think they had Rufus Du Sol come through here.
Oh,
like
damn.
some crazy shit, man. So we're really trying out here. We're really trying out here, and I got a lot of friends. So yeah, just like if everybody just keeps looking for shit, you know, we're easy to find. We're easy to find.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out Fresno. We got a lot of talent out here, as you can see.
Yes, we do.
A lot of stuff coming up. So I mean, if you're sleeping on us now, you're gonna get FOMO later.
Oh yeah,
big FOMO.
Big FOMO.
Big FOMO.
Yeah, well, thank you, Brandon, for being out here, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having me.
This is incredible.
I appreciate the love.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, and don't forget, you guys can go ahead and check them out on all platforms. We love you guys. Much love. Peace.
This will be happening. I can be too sure.